It's time for an immigration update because things have happened immigrationally speaking. But when your wife calls you crying from the Philippines because of your embassy, just things don't seem right. And for us, a lot of things haven't seemed right. And it's not because we did anything wrong. We have followed the rules. We have done what we were supposed to do. But let me get into all of that. The first thing, I'm not going to start at the very beginning. We've been through a lot of that in earlier videos. But we did get the go-ahead for the medical. That's the first big step of your coming here to the United States or to your country of origin. That's up to you. I'm going to talk about the United States because that's where I am from. So that was, and I'm looking at some notes here, so please forgive me. September 5th and 6th was the first day open that I could get her into St. Luke's. And that St. Luke's is where you have to go. It's in Manila. She lives outside of Manila. Now, I know what they do sometimes. And so I say, because I watch a lot of YouTube, especially on this subject, because I knew we were getting close at some point. At this point, we're looking at, so if it was September, we're looking at 25 months that we've been in this process. We haven't done anything wrong to make it go longer. That's just what it is. So 25 months, September 5th and 6th. But 8 months or so before this, I sent Lilet some money and I said, I want you to go and get the chest x-ray, because that's the one. Tuberculosis, TB, is the one that keeps a lot of people there longer, because if you have TB, you've got to take 6 months of pills every day, and sometimes you have to go there to take them every day, and it's 6 months. You don't get to try again for 6 months. And I'm like, I'm not waiting another 6 months. This has been forever. So she went down there, took her tricycle or jeepney or bus, and finally got down there and took the x-ray, went back, got the x-ray, got the consultation, said everything looks fine. Here's your x-ray, take it with you. I said, all right, put that in a safe place, because I know at St. Luke's from listening to a lot of other people that they'll tell you have something. And then they'll look on the x-ray and say they see it, and then they'll hold you up for another 6 months so you can pay them to take the pills. Now, that might be a conspiracy theory. I'm just telling you. So she goes down to St. Luke's on the 5th. It's a 2-day situation down there. The appointment takes 2 days because you've got to get your inoculations and injections and blood taken and everything. And so on the 5th, she goes for the whole day, has everything ready, and she gives them her tuberculosis cleared x-rays just so they know we're on to their game. And everything went perfect right up until they heard her cough. Well, if you live in Manila, everybody's got a cough because it's terrible air pollution. And it wasn't, it's probably just a nervous one of those. They're like, what? You've got sputum. You've got sputum. I didn't even know what sputum is. You look it up. And sputum is one of the things that could say you have tuberculosis. It doesn't mean you have it. Most everybody has sputum. Look it up. But then, of the 100 and something people, they run them through like cattle. It's a process up there. 64 of them had to come back for sputum. Look it up. She's got a clear bill of health on this x-ray. She didn't catch TB in 6 to 8 months. So that was, the September 5th and 6th. So they made her come back on September 9th, 10th, and 11th. And even though she doesn't have any extra phlegm and things when she coughs, she has to make some. 3 different days. That's days off work. That's trips there and trips back. and you've got to, scratch up your throat, spit onto the Petri dish, and then they let it grow for 2 full months. For 2 full months. Now, they do say if you have tuberculosis, you'll know, we'll probably call you in the first month and say you've got tuberculosis, come back and let's do tuberculosis. Listen, we've already had that chest x-ray. The chest x-ray they took, negative, not a thing on it. So we got to back up to the backup here, right? No, that's not okay. I heard you cough. Your sputum's clear. That's the backup to the backup to the backup, but we need you to come back. So 2 months later again, I'm looking down at my notes, November 13th, she has to go back to St. Luke's for her sputum results that we've already back to back clear. And of course, she was clear. Well, the problem with that is I'm like, okay, I went and made an appointment at the embassy for her interview on October 9th, because it only takes 2 weeks for them to give you the clear bill of health and send the results on. So I thought, well, that's at least 3 weeks. Right? So actually, it's a month. That was the soonest one I could get. And of course, now I had to cancel that, and so that held us up. Well, between then and now, in the area chronologically, they stopped letting you make your own appointment. So the next step, after she got her clear results, November 13th, we got an appointment for biometrics, which is in Parañaque. So again, she had to jump in the tricycle, the jeepney, the bus, and go over there past Quezon City, and you do your biometrics. That's where you give them all of your information, take your fingerprints, all of the things that you would do for like a background check, basically, all your personal info. And then, since I had already paid everything online way back, then she was able to make an appointment there for the embassy, which I found that is way easier than the way they had you do it. So it's just kind of a one-stop shop right there. And that I found, okay, I know I've been a little negative here. I apologize for that. But very frustrating when I can't be there to help. I just can't jump on a plane and be there. I mean, just can't. Just can't. So she goes. We're very excited now because, we've been together for 5 years at this point now. I've been there 7 times. I think it's 8. She said I've only been there 7 times. But we know each other. She knows all about me. She knows all of, she quizzes me. What's your sister's name? What's your mom's name? So she knows. I'm like, this is going to be a breeze. No problem. So she goes to our appointment. I don't even remember what that appointment. It was shortly thereafter. Well, I'm thinking, it'd be really cool. Get her here in December because I'm a teacher, as I told you. There'd be 2 weeks off. Be pretty cool, And so she goes for the appointment, and they're quizzing her. And everything is going just fine. And as she's getting ready to leave, getting ready to have her welcome to America, this is at the embassy, right? Welcome to America moment. They say, oh, let me look at your husband's divorce decree. Now, like most Americans, I've been divorced. Everything's fine. It was a long time ago. Not even in the last 2 decades. It's that long ago. And she has everything with her. She was super prepared. She pulls it out, the copy that we sent in. Now, this copy has gone through the USCIS and was approved, the NVC, the National Visa Center, and it was approved and accepted, and it says so online. And it was sent one other place after that. I should have written that down. And it was accepted. So there's nothing wrong with it. And so she pulls it out and shows it to them. And they've got that. And they go, no, we need a copy of the original. She said, we need a copy of the original. That is a copy of the original. No, a copy of the original. And she goes, well, this is the original. And it says, right here, there's the filing. And on the back, I don't have time to go through it, there's the stamp. This one right here has the ink that the judge signed on it. Now, why did you keep it around? So that's weird, Rob. Well, I just did that because there was a child involved. So this also has custody stuff on it. So I just kind of kept it around in the same spot. Literally, the judge signed it, stamped it, gave it to me. There is no more original than this, right? And the lady looks at her and goes, no. I need a certified original copy. You know what that means? The original ain't good enough. They wanted me to go down to the courthouse and have them make their copy of this, which is a copy. They don't have an original. I'm the only one with an original. They just have copies. So they had me go down there, pay extra money, take a half day off work, get a copy of something I already have so that they could emboss it. Now I have to take it down to FedEx because, I'm in a hurry now. Money is starting to become no object because I'm just like, I want my wife here. So $140 to 3-day it by FedEx. That's as fast as it'll get there. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. So they told her, you get that certified original copy, you send that to us by LBC with your passport. Well, I'm like, listen, if they're asking for her passport, this is the end of it right here. Okay, they're not going to ask for a passport if they're not going to visa stamp it, right? So I'm like, okay, we're almost done here. So I book her flight. I'm like, I'm going to give them a month, and I'm going to book this flight. And I booked it, fortunately, for foreshadowing there, with the full refund. And let's see, we're getting into January now. We're into January. So I get it to her, and she picks it up immediately, leaves work, picks it up, and goes down to the LBC with her passport. LBC is closed because they're offline. Offline. Their computers don't work. Oh, when do you think it'll be up? Oh, maybe tomorrow. Offline. That means this kind of documents, her documents cannot be shipped. Cannot be shipped until they're back online. And call the embassy. You can't call the embassy. They don't answer the phone. They answer emergency for expats, people that are in trouble. If I was there, there is an emergency line for that. But I called it, and they said, sir, this isn't for that. I said, it's an emergency to me, not to us. But so there's no phone number to call. You cannot. They try to get back to you by email within 10 days. And they never got back to me. So there's no way to take it in, period. 7 days they were offline. If you've ever been to the Philippines, that's no surprise to you. A major carrier, offline, computers offline. How does your computer down for your computer system, 7 days? So now we're a week back. Now, here's the problem. Her medical expires on February 6th. Due to no fault of ours, they keep pushing these months back. So February 6th. So if she doesn't get her visa stamp and get on that plane by February 6th, she has to go do it all again for another $500 at at St. Luke's. So LBC finally gets back online on, let's see. Yes, and we get that to them. I had to re-upload everything to the travel docs. They never even looked at it. Didn't even look at it. I'm saying, well, they got to acknowledge that they got it. Never acknowledged that they got it. Now, LBC did give us a return receipt, so we know that it got delivered to the embassy, but the embassy never acknowledged it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Now, mind you, this is deep into January now. February 6th is the end of her medical. So I had to refund that ticket. Have no idea when she's going to get here. The embassy will not respond. They won't even look at what I sent them, even though they requested me to do it. So here's the problem. We were expecting some sort of communication. The embassy called her. Have you ever got a call from the embassy? I haven't. I can't even call them. They called her. And so she sends me a message, the embassy called me. So I immediately call her, message her, and she can't even talk. She can't even talk to me. She's crying, sobbing from this call about the embassy. And I'm going to get to that, what happened, in part 2.